Inside a boiler room, you notice a puddle of water underneath the relief valve discharge pipe. Your first thought is, the relief valve is defective. But is it? What if I told you that valve may be doing the exact thing it's supposed to do, and the real problem is lurking deeper in your system? I'm Ray Wolfarth, and today on Boiler Room Detective, we're exposing the top reasons the relief valves leak. Some might surprise you. Stick around as we break down what's really behind that leaking relief valve and how to diagnose it like a pro. What does a relief valve do? The relief valve is a safety device designed to prevent your boiler from becoming overpressurized. Most hydronic systems have a 30 psi relief valve, meaning that if the system pressure exceeds 30 psi, the valve will open to release the excess pressure and to protect the boiler and piping. Unlike a steam pop safety valve, which opens fully when the pressure exceeds a set point, the hydronic relief valve opens slowly. The higher the pressure, the more the relief valve opens. What are the common reasons for the relief valve leaking? The number one cause of leaking relief valves is a waterlogged or undersized expansion tank. Water expands as it heats, approximately 3%. In a closed-loop system, that expanding water needs to go somewhere. If the expansion tank is full of water, no air cushion, the pressure has nowhere to go, so it lifts the relief valve. How do you check it? There are two types of expansion tanks, one with a bladder or diaphragm and one without. The bladder is like an inner tube inside a tire. The older steel tanks didn't have the bladder. On steel tanks, you can check the gauge glass on the tank to determine if the tank has an air cushion. If there is no gauge glass, tap on the expansion tank. The top should sound hollow and the bottom should sound solid. On tanks with a bladder, the pressure on the air side, the inner tube of the tank, you have to check it with the boiler off and the system depressurized. Typically, it should be around 12 psi for a residential system. Too much water in the system equals higher static pressure, especially in tall buildings. Look at the tridecator or PTA gauge when the boiler is cold. If the pressure is above 12 to 15 psi for residential, the system may be overfilled. Drain some water from the system until the pressure drops to the recommended cooled-filled pressure. The next possible cause could be a faulty pressure-reducing valve or the auto-fill valve. A stuck or defective pressure-reducing or boiler fill valve can continuously feed water into the system even when it doesn't need it. Some of the symptoms are a constant rise in system pressure even when the boiler isn't firing. The relief valve discharges intermittently or regularly. Another cause is boiler operating temperature is too high. Boilers that run too hot, over 180 degrees, will have a greater volume than water at a cooler temperature. You want to check the aquastat and limit controls. To fix this, you adjust the operating temperature control down to 180 for most hydronic systems. The last item is the relief valve is worn and dirty. Sometimes the valve is really the problem. If sediment from the system gets into the valve seat, it may not reseal. Older valves can weaken or corrode over time and open at lower pressures than rated. The fix is to replace the relief valve. They're relatively inexpensive and easy to swap, but only after ruling out the root cause. A leaking relief valve isn't just a housekeeping problem, it could create a perilous condition. A building with a constant relief valve leak had a boiler explosion with fatalities and injuries. When the forensic engineer checked the relief valve after the accident, they discovered the relief valve, rated for 30 psi, did not open until the pressure reached 1500 psi. Scale had formed on the relief valve. Please like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it helpful. My boiler books are available at Pronto Heating Supplies in New York, T.F. Campbell in Western Pennsylvania, and on Amazon. My articles are included in these industry magazines. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you on the next case.